So I've been meaning to do a longer video on this. This is a 1985 BMW 745i. It's equipped with the factory 3.4 liter turbocharged engine. What's unusual about this one is it's almost as base model as you can get, which I'll show you some of the stuff on it here after I'm doing a quick walk around. So these side marker lights right here are part of the DOT process when they import the vehicles. And these are some optional extras from the factory on here. You can see this has the factory equipped 14-inch wheels. I apologize, the car is really dirty. Haven't been able to touch it in a while. Under the hood is even dirtier. So this is the 3.4 liter factory turbocharged engine. There's only a little bit of rust here along the firewall. This thing sat out in Tacoma Bay, Washington for quite some time on Anderson Island. So all of the aluminum is corroded in here. Walk over to the other side here. Down here is where the factory turbo is. Nothing's modified on it. The wastegate is factory. Hasn't been modified at all. There's your intercooler down there. What's unusual about this is really these side marker lights, the metallic paint, and this electric sunroof are realistically the only options that this car has. So in here, that's a work in progress. So the exterior paint is Arctic blue. This is over Pacific cloth, which is very faded at the moment. Dash is very cracked. You can see that there's no power windows. So it has manual windows here. They were all the 1983 and up were all, or 1984 and up were all 4-speed automatics. Came equipped with no air conditioning. I'm not entirely sure if it had a radio. At some point in time, somebody did add air conditioning to it, and then they moved the speaker balance knob down here where the power windows circuit breaker would be. So the downside is the sunroof had leaked for a little bit. Pretty much all the wood trim in here is messed up, needs to be replaced. Another interesting thing I noticed here is I was working on the instrument cluster a little bit. So the instrument cluster says approximately 81,000 miles on it. When these are all imported, they had to add this light down here, which is the seatbelt warning light. I was kind of working on this, trying to figure out where the speedometer came from. I couldn't figure out why it only went to 140 miles per hour when all the other ones I've seen were higher on that. So I checked this little number down here on the bottom, and it turns out the speedometer is from a 318i E30. Downside is this cluster is pretty much bad. I took it apart. The circuit board in the back here is all, underneath this is all corroded. The copper traces in there are all falling apart. Their fun thing is the center console is broken. I do have two more that are over here. These all came from the factory with self-leveling rear suspension on them. This right here is another DOT add-on when they are imported. Whenever this was registered in Washington State, it had this pretty cool personalized license plate on it. When I did buy it, the person who sold it to me threw in some extras here. So I got some Bilsteins for the self-leveling delete. I got the last one of these, which is a 4-gauge cluster that goes in the center console there. I've been buying some stuff on sale at Rock Auto. The unfortunate thing is mice did get in here at some point in time, so all this aluminum stuff is corroded. There's an extra tail light because one of the tail lights is cracked. Factory jack. Those are the front calipers. There's some other stuff that was in there. Obviously the toolkit is missing, as they all are. Headlight, that's good to know. Overall, it's a fairly solid car. It was repainted at some point in time, so some of the paint is flaking off the trunk lid, which is unusual. There is virtually no rust around it. The only rust I've seen is a little bit of bubbling on the back here. The weather seals are all gone. I did take out the rear seat just because it smelled like mouse so bad under there that I had to get rid of it. And again, realistically, the only three options on this car were that electric sunroof, the side markers, and one other thing that I've forgotten, the metallic paint. There were two other options listed when I decoded the VIN. One of them was extra fuel for export, and the other one was just a build option for export also, but I don't know the history of this car. I have no idea where it was. I bought it from somebody in San Diego. He found it on Anderson Island in Washington, and the fact that it has no AC from the factory, the 14-inch base tires, and really realistically nothing else optioned on it makes it very unusual. Haven't been able to do too much to it yet. I did take out the instrument cluster because, like I said, I was wondering what was going on with it. When I hooked up the battery, the transmission fault light turns on automatically. So I do think that there is an issue with the ECU that's down there, which if that's the case, that's not fun because those are fairly expensive. But, you know, keep following the channel and I will show you more on this car as I work on it. After I get done with some other projects, like this nice Jaguar here that still doesn't run, and now my mother-in-law's car. So fun times. Talk to you guys later.